So this is a quick tutorial on how to use the mullion tool in Revit. Right now we have a roof, it's there, a series of floors, and a bunch of curtain wall panels. And typically, the great thing about curtain walls is that the grid themselves will be fairly obvious, but sometimes you want to actually articulate the grid a little bit more than what we're showing here. To do that, just go to the Home tool, and from here, just move to the Mullion tool. What this will do is actually start creating mullions. We'll just ignore that for now. Basically say, you have this ability to choose a grid line, a segment of a grid line, or all grid lines. And this will be all grid lines in each curtain wall panel system. So notice that if I hover on this front one, the back one isn't lighting up, and if I go hover on the back one, the front one isn't lighting up. So we'll do this twice. In the front, or do that in the back. And then we'll set all the mullions on the front. I try to avoid this. I try to not to use mullions when I can, simply because they really add a lot of objects for your computer to worry about. So typically they don't. Typically they weigh down your project a whole lot. I would avoid using them if you can, but sometimes especially when you're towards the end of the project, it does add a little something. So if you see here, we've got a little bit more of articulation of these curtain wall systems than what's happening through using the mullion tool. The mullion tool is kind of a stranger one because in order to edit it, you actually edit the mullions themselves. You have to go into their properties. I believe you'll need to edit their profiles. Well, in this case, it's good because you have you're dealing with a rectangular one, so it knows it's a rectangle, and then it'll ask about its dimensions there. You could adjust these dimensions if you wanted. Let's make them a little bit, in this case, a little bit larger, so you can see the difference. Hit OK. Because this is a type property, this is going to adjust all of the mullions. And yeah, they've gotten a lot thicker. If we hit undo, now you really should see the change. Yeah, now they're much more slender. You can in the mullions type, you should be able to adjust the actual profile of the mullions themselves, so they can actually you can actually create different shapes to the mullions. And what that does is, if you think of this as an extrusion or a series of extrusions, you're just saying what that extrusion is going to be. The curtain grid acts as the lines to extrude along, and in this pull-down menu, you actually you're determining whether it's rectangular or circular. You can extrude any shape you'd like. I would definitely recommend keeping it under four lines, simply because it gets really heavy really fast. But if we were to change this to circular in the type property for this mullion family, it's going to change all of them to a circular family. Hopefully. So that's just made the pieces just have a different aesthetic to them. If we hit undo, then that's clearly it's a difference between that and the rectangle. So that is that's the mullion tool.